welcome. In this video I'm going to talk about Raptor and our website scraper. Now our suite of SEO tools has a lot of functions and features that all combine and work with each other in a number of different ways. We've discussed the website crawler features, and the website scraping or website scraper features are all very similar and connected in a number of ways. So just to talk a little bit around this, if we go to a website like our own website, Raptor, and you've got on each of these pages, you've got obviously content and images, links. There's various bits of information that you might want to scrape from this page, such as titles. If we inspect this, this will be a H2 title. There'll be H1 titles on the page, and various other information that you want to scrape from that page. Now, if we look at how many pages there are of this that are indexed in Google, at the moment there's 562. And so if you want to go through all of these pages manually and scrape data such as the page titles, which you'll see here, or the meta descriptions, or the URLs, that's going to take a lot of time to do manually. And so website scraper is something that will automatically go through your website, crawling pages, adding them to a crawl queue, and then scraping data from that queue. Now, if we go into our project here, you can see that we've already added a site to this project. And if we click crawl, this will take us through to the crawling page. And what we're actually doing here is initially scraping data from the robots.txt file, which is looking for the location of the sitemaps. If there is a location of a sitemap found there, then we go and we start to add those sitemaps to the crawl queue, and then we start to scrape the URLs from the sitemaps. So if we go to Raptor and we go to our sitemap.xml file, you'll see that within here you've got obviously a long list of URLs. And what the tool is essentially doing is scraping all of those URLs from the sitemap, putting them into a crawl queue, and then crawling those pages, and that's when the real scraping begins. You can see that we're actually in the crawling part of the process, which could really be called the scraping part of the process, as this is really where the web scraping or website scraping is occurring. And what's happening right now is that the crawler is loading these pages, and it's scraping data from those pages. Now, if we go through to the reporting section of the tool, we're obviously gone. We're looking at incomplete data here because the crawl isn't finished. But what we're actually scraping in terms of data are all of these different things down here. So in terms of indexation data, the status or response code of the URL, the file type, the content encoding, the load time in seconds, if it's a HTML5 page. We also scrape tons of other data. I'm not going to talk through every single item, but we scrape everything from metadata to canonical information, information about internal links, whether they're follow and no follow, open graph tags and Twitter cards, Google Analytics code, geotags, as well as other content information. And you can download this by checking all and downloading it into a CSV file, and then you've got that data to look at in a raw format. Although the raw format of the data obviously isn't very pretty to look at, so we have built reports that make that data more accessible and easier to read. But the summary information that we show here in the summary tab summarizes this the raw data into various sections. So you can see that we've got a general summary section, so the number of URLs crawled, the number of HTML pages versus non-HTML pages, indexable versus non-indexable pages, accessible pages versus essentially non-accessible pages. We've got a section on indexation where we cover pages that have no index tags or disallowed from the robots.txt, redirects, 400 errors, server errors, a collection of all types of inaccessible pages and URLs. We also look at canonical information, so canonical duplication specifically, whether or not pages are canonical. All of this comes with summaries of information, so you can drop down and see that these sections are expandable and collapsible, so that you can more easily locate and look at any particular data that you want to see. But we also provide this data that we scrape from websites as clickable information. So here what we're doing is bucketing the scraped data that we've summarized into this tab in terms of, say, the number of URLs. If we click on that from the current crawl, that'll take us through to a page that will show us all of the URLs that we've crawled during that particular crawl. Now if we go back to the reporting page, you'll notice that you can select from previous crawls, and you can also select from previous crawls here as well, and this allows you to compare the data between those two crawls. So really, when we are scraping data from sites, we're scraping SEO data primarily and providing that to you in a summary format. So that's our website scraper. I hope this video has been useful to you. Thanks for watching and look forward to seeing you next time.